I hope that common sense prevails.
And we'll be following that to see if there's a compromise reached, even if there are vetoes overridden this week or in the coming days. I'm going to shift now. We'll talk about gambling, sports betting, and medical marijuana. And that's one of the questions that's come to us from Eric Crawford, who has been a valiant advocate for this effort for many years in Frankfort. He asked, how do the new members feel about medical cannabis, House Bill 136 and Senate Bill 92? And I'll go to Senator Storm and ask you, perhaps you don't have to have great familiarity with the details of those bills, but on the premise of what they are proposing, how do you feel about legalizing medicinal marijuana in Kentucky?
Well, I think the first thing is, I think President Stivers mentioned this a few weeks ago. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's still considered a Schedule I controlled substance by the federal government. So until that issue can be resolved by the federal government, I don't know that the Kentucky legislature should really take a step into that area. That's just my personal opinion.
Should just wait till the feds act first and then come behind and do what perhaps constituents are saying. There does seem to be an overwhelming amount of Kentuckians who support that. I don't remember recent polls, but it seems to be a plurality majority who believe that the time has now come. Do you hear that from constituents in your district, that they are concerned about this issue and know folks who would benefit medicinally from the use of medical marijuana?
I have heard from people that say those things, but I also know that I practice in federal court on a daily basis, and I see a lot of cases, in fact today, where a gentleman was sent back to prison for marijuana. Again, I think it's a problem with the issue being a federally regulated controlled substance right now.
Do you view it as perhaps even a gateway drug, aside from the legal entanglements of it at this current state? Do you have any opposition based on others who have said that this is a gateway to other more harmful, abusive, addictive drugs?
I don't know that I have any personal views on that at this time. I know that I've seen a lot of clients that have went to prison over that issue, but again, I've heard from other people that say that they've had seizure issues or epileptic issues that could potentially be treated by medical marijuana. So again, I think the bigger issue is whether or not the federal government regulates it or deregulates it.
And to your earlier point, there have been some legislators on the other side of the aisle who said, you know, if we get to the point where Kentucky does do this, then you have to worry, you have to concern yourself with the sentencing of marijuana, excuse me, that even that needs to be taken as the next step to decriminalize marijuana at that particular state. Do you have any comment on that action?
Well, I think not necessarily. I don't. I think the bigger issue again goes back to whether or not the federal government continues to regulate this as a controlled substance or not. I think that's really the pinnacle issue.